Lagan custard. Hi, I'm Anupa and I welcome you to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. I am here with an all-new series, and this series is especially for the newlyweds. Yes, when you have a lot of guests at home, you really have to impress them with some exotic recipes. So I'm here with some special recipes for you, and today I'm going to show you something really Parsi. Parsi cuisine is something that is extremely popular in Mumbai, and of course all over the world also, but there are certain dishes which I personally like, and that's Lagan custard. Now this is one custard which you will always find at any Parsi wedding, and it's just yummy. So let's quickly see what all we need to make a Lagan custard. So for Lagan custard we need milk, condensed milk, almond slivers, sugar, raisins, charoli, green cardamom powder, vanilla essence, nutmeg powder and eggs. So the process is very simple. See, it's always this way. Simpler the recipe, tastier it is. So to start off with, we have to heat up the milk. Along with the milk, we'll add in some sugar. You must be wondering, this amount of sugar looks too little for the milk. Yes, we are going to add the wonder ingredient, and that's condensed milk. So all the condensed milk goes in this. We just have to heat this till the sugar dissolves. That's it. We don't have to really give it a boil. Once the sugar dissolves completely, we will switch off the heat. But in the meanwhile, let's take another bowl in which we'll break some eggs. A custard is incomplete without eggs. And here we need 5 eggs. To this we'll add in some vanilla essence, and now we need to beat this well. You also need to check if the sugar is dissolved. I can see that the sugar is dissolved really well. So what I'll do is, we'll switch this off and we'll transfer this in another bowl so that the milk cools down completely, because we have to mix the milk and the eggs, and we obviously cannot do it if the milk is hot, because it is sure to scramble. Okay, so we'll set this aside for the milk to cool down, and in the meanwhile we need to beat these eggs nicely. So for which you may need a fork, or you can also use an egg beater. But if you don't have an egg beater, that should not be your excuse to not make the Lagan custard. This is very similar to the caramel custard that we make. Of course, with this custard, we don't need to make the caramel, but the entire taste, the combined flavors of the green cardamom powder, nutmeg powder and the dry fruits together comes out really well. Okay, so once you beat the egg and you see that it has mixed well, all that we have to do now is we have to combine the milk and the egg together. But before that, you first need to see if the milk has cooled down. This can only happen if the milk is slightly warm or at room temperature. I would prefer that you do it while it is at room temperature, or else what will happen is when we mix in hot milk to the eggs, your eggs are going to scramble, and then ultimately you'll just have a bowl full of scrambled eggs with milk, and you'll not be able to make your custard. So please be careful when you make the Lagan custard. The milk has to cool down completely, and only then you need to mix in the both. So here I can see, as long as you are able to put your finger in, like I am doing it right now, is just fine. Okay. So we'll pour in the eggs in this. Once you pour in the eggs, keep on mixing. Now to this we'll add in some green cardamom powder, nutmeg powder. Don't worry if these form small lumps, where any which way is going to strain the entire mixture, so you don't need to worry. Some nutmeg powder. Nutmeg has a very predominant flavor in this entire custard, so you have to have nutmeg powder. If you are not able to source nutmeg powder, you can just take a whole nutmeg and grate it and put it in that as well. Okay, so now that we have mixed everything, the custard is ready. All that we have to do is strain this. So very carefully strain out the entire mixture, and once you strain it, you'll know why I have got this done. You see this? Some pieces of the egg white is what stays here, and in case if there's anything else in the powders or the spices that we've added, also gets strained off. So the custard or the mixture is ready. Now I have two baking dishes here. Whatever bowl you have at home which can go in an oven, please use that. If you have one big bowl, please use that. If you have smaller ones, you can even do it in that, as long as you are able to make a Lagan custard the way we are showing you now. Okay, so now this is done. What I'm doing is I'm going to pour this mixture in a bake-proof dish. Don't fill it up to the brim. Leave some space. Now we have all our dry fruits left. So we take the almonds. Some dry fruits may sink, some may float, but they're all going to go into your tummy, so don't worry. And some raisins. I know of some people who add saffron to this. You too could add, but in this the predominant flavor, like I said, is of nutmeg, and the most important ingredient in making a Lagan custard is this charoli. This is an essential dry fruit of this entire dish. This has to be there. Whether you add saffron or not is immaterial, but this you have to have. Once your bowls are filled with the custard, this will now go in an oven, and you have to bake this for about 45 to 50 minutes. Yes, the baking time is a little more because this takes a lot of time. You see the mixture is quite liquidy. This will now start getting baked, and by the time it is done, it will be about 45 to 50 minutes. But this will go in an oven with a water bath. Now what is a water bath? You have your oven, you have a tray. Now in that tray you need to pour some water, and in that tray you need to place both your bowls. Now understand one thing, basically what happens is oven has a dry heat, and that dry heat along with the steam which is generated from the water you pour in the tray is what is going to cook your Lagan custard. Remember one thing, that we have added about 5 eggs in this, so there could be a possibility that you will have a nice dark layer on top. In case if this goes very dark much before it is even cooked, you can just wrap it up with an aluminium foil, or in case you have a lid to your baking dish, just place a lid so that the custard cooks and doesn't take further color. I hope you have understood what I mean to say. As in how we bake it, we will see how it looks. So what I'm going to do first is, my oven is preheated. Okay, so this is my water bath. Now all I have to do right now is to place both the bowls in the tray. Very carefully. Temperature is about 180 degrees Celsius, and this will bake for about 45 minutes as I mentioned. Now you have to also keep a continuous check on it in case, like I said, if you have a dark brown layer on top, quickly cover it with aluminium foil and let it stay in. Now how will you know if a custard is baked? You have to just put a knife and it comes out clean, which means your custard is completely cooked. I will show you how it looks once the custard is done, but this will take some time now. So the Lagan custard is done. I've just got this out of the oven. Like I said, there is a test to see if this is cooked. Take a small clean knife and prick it in, and here it comes out clean. So which means that the custard is completely cooked and you can serve this. But I think the best way to serve this custard is when it is cold, chilled. You like it hot? You can serve it warm. Of course, hot is something that you won't be able to eat it. Put this in the fridge, serve it cold. If you want to have it at room temperature, you can serve it after it cools down a bit, and cut them into wedges, or take a round spoon, serve it into nice bowls, garnish it with some more dry fruits, but nothing more than that, because Lagan custard is best had the way it is made. That's it. It's a simple recipe. You can make it on any given day. If you have guests at home, it's a reason for you to make it. But if there is nothing like that happening, you can still make it because it's a hit recipe and everybody at home is going to freak out. So this was Lagan no custard. Make it just the way I have made it and you will love it.